almost everyone in Zimbabwe have traditional rural place.
People that are in the diaspora, they're not investing back in the cities. They're investing back in the rural areas.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, you have to ask them why. Why are they not investing back in the cities?
In the cities.
What is it that they are running away from? Life in the cities is fast-paced. People who are in the diaspora, if they retire, they want to be surrounded by a slow-paced life where there's fresh air, where they are collaborating with nature.
Too much of something is bad for you. Too much of everything,
Except
actually.
for farming. Their secret is that they are in the diaspora.
Okay.
There are better opportunities there to make money. One thing that I've recognized, people who have money, they don't brag. And if you have an opportunity to sit down with a millionaire, don't beg.
Our ideas as Africans has become more theoretical rather than practical.
Why are you interviewing farmers, actually? Your personal experience. Is it for content or what?
I would probably say that the reason why I am interviewing farmers is for other people not to forget where they come from. If we forget farming,
yes,
it means that we are destroying the backbone of Africa.
Yes, which is true.
So at the end of the day, if we destroy the backbone of Africa, we become too dependent on the Western countries. That dependence syndrome will develop and will increase. You see, but if people start farming, recognizing that this is something that can sustain us, we won't be needing too much of Western things.
Yes, you are talking to to young people, young farmers. Actually, that's more of your people that you have interviewed so far.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought that the majority of the people that I would interview are young people.
Young people, yeah.
I thought that farming was only for old people. You see, that's what I used to think. But it turns out that young people are venturing into farming more and more. The reason being that things have changed. There is now what they call precision farming. It's no longer manual labor like the way we used to think it.
Wearing rags, torn out clothes.
Exactly. Back in the days, as young as we were, we used to think that farming is manual labor. It's hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. But as of now, there's technology. Everything is easy in terms of farming as long as you are applying everything that needs to be applied. So at the end of the day, I tell you, bro, sitting down with people who has money, don't beg.
Okay. Noted.
Strive to ask questions, important questions.
Yeah.
And those people, they know how to answer questions.
And they'll see potential in you.
Exactly. And once they do that, it's amazing. You will enjoy.
You get
Farming
in touch with them.
Is opened so many doors for me. And honestly, if I'm to tell you the truth, per day I would probably try to reach more than 5 people, trying to interview them. And sadly, most of the time I get rejected, which is okay. Wow. It's part of the process, you see.
95,000 subscribers and someone would actually reject to sit down with you.
People are different.
Yeah.
People are different. Some other farmers, they don't want to be on camera, which is okay. But I think that most of the people, they don't know how powerful social media can be. That is why they reject. For people who are rejecting because they don't want to be on camera, I totally understand.
Yeah.
It's a thing. That's their thing. But for people who are rejecting the whole social media thing out of ignorance, I mean, that's a loss for them. Because sometimes we're talking about 95,000 subscribers. If I make a video with you and you're selling a product,
yes,
and if you sell your story, bro, people will come in the numbers to buy from you.
Obviously. So
that's a win for you.
It's free advertisement for them.
Free advertisement for you, because at the end of the day, as of now, I am interviewing people for free. There's going to come a time that those farmers that were rejecting me, they would pay me to make a video at their farm.
Wow.
Time will come.
What are the challenges that you have faced so far as a content creator?
I would probably say that the majority of my people are not on social media. That's the biggest challenge. You see, that's the thing. Africans are trying to adapt the Western culture, and yet, as Africans, farming is rooted in us.
Yeah.
I would probably, as for myself, I would say that every African, deep down, they are farmers. So right now, the problem is that the young generation are forgetting who we are, adapting Western culture, bringing that here. This is not a conducive environment for some cultures that we are adapting. I'm not saying all the cultures, not all of them are bad. Not all the things that we are adapting from the Western countries are bad.
Yes.
But most of those things, they are bad for us.
Going,
Exactly.
showcasing the rural life.
Saying that we
What
should go back.
is there to admire if everyone, like literally everyone, moved from rural area to Harare,
Yes,
like to cities?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You are in Harare
Yes.
and someone is in the rural areas.
Uh-huh.
Whatever you've been eating for the past 2 years, compared to someone who's in the rural areas, that what they've been eating for the past 2 years, who would you say that is eating healthy? You in Harare or someone who is living in the rural areas?
Obviously. Okay. So let me answer that statement. Okay. For someone who is in the rural area, they are eating healthy actually.
Yeah.
But here we are eating delicious.
Delicious. So do you choose delicious or healthy?
Okay. At this age, I think, you know what? Okay, I have to admit, you got me there. Of which we're choosing delicious over healthy food.
That's the thing. The reason why I'm showcasing that we should go back to the rural areas is that, excuse me, in the rural areas, if you are even to look at the environment, the fresh air, it's amazing. So what I am advocating for is that if people are to go back in the rural areas, we should by all means try to collaborate with nature. Not go back there and bring what we have in Harare and then put it in the rural areas.
And then we say you are in knowledge of living rural.
At the end of the day, 50 years from now, you destroy the rural areas.
Obviously.
So I think what we have to learn as people who are going back to the rural areas, building beautiful houses in the rural areas, we have to collaborate with nature that we find there. And even educate people who are in the rural areas that, look, the trees that you're cutting down, please make sure that you are not even cutting all of them. Just try by all means to
Cut what you want to use.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, even tell them that, even supply them with tree seeds, if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of trees are being cut down in the rural areas out of ignorance.
And people are not planting back.
They are not planting back. They don't know the importance of it. But we, people who are living in towns and cities, we have gained exposure, you see. So I think at the end of the day, we, people who are living in the cities, have to collaborate with the people that are living in the rural areas. And I'm telling you, life in the rural areas, once we collaborate with nature and put everything in place, it's amazing.
Okay, so I've seen, a couple of your videos doing interview with people, who are building retirement homes in rural areas.
Yeah.
Like, what is their secret? Because I know, like, some,
Their
not
secret,
all,
their,
not, yeah.
Their secret is that they are in the diaspora.
Okay.
There are better opportunities there to make money. If you are in the diaspora, there are many people who are building beautiful houses worth over $160,000 within 2 months.
Yeah.
Even a month. You can't do that if you are in Zimbabwe. It's hard. Others are doing it, but it's hard. So the secret is that the people that are in the diaspora, they've a better opportunity than people who are in Africa.
Right now I am in Vumba and I'm enjoying myself and at the same time working. That is the best thing about my job. I get to travel, I get to experience what nature has to offer. I get to meet people, really interesting people, and the exposure that I'll be gaining, it's really amazing, and I love everything about what I do. I want to talk about farming, I want to talk about rural life. As a content creator, I've noticed that the people that are living in the diaspora, they are investing back in Africa. And something that is really interesting me about this whole situation is that instead of them investing in the cities, they are investing back in the rural areas. I saw many questions. I can't answer why they're doing that. I have to ask them why are you guys moving back into the rural areas instead of the cities? You know, almost everyone in Zimbabwe have traditional rural place. You know, that land that was given to you over maybe 200 years ago, it's a family land, it's a family rural village. Almost everyone has got that in Zimbabwe. So for those who are saying we're afraid of investing back in the rural areas, why can't you just go back to where you come from? And that is your traditional land, your rural village, and build there. So at the end of the day, we have to analyze this whole thing. Before you invest, you analyze where exactly am I going to invest. And if you are investing in the rural areas, yes, you have to be careful. But at the end of the day, there is your traditional land where you can invest. And another thing that I want to say about, I was talking about rural life, now I want to talk about farming. I would be just exchanging between the two. I am saying that a lot of Zimbabweans, a lot of Africans have to wake up and smell the coffee. When I say that people have to gain exposure. Farming pays in Africa. Farming is the backbone of Africa's economy. Almost everyone is farming in their blood here in Africa. You can do it without too much labor. You can imply what they call precision farming, and it makes everything easier. They are using technology these days. I've met someone who is keeping chickens, who only got 45 chickens, and that person is making $2,000 US. You have to think outside the box. Imagine he's doing what we call breeding. You see, breeding chickens. And so I've been told that a crate of those kind of chickens cost about $20 US. Imagine. While at least your regular eggs cost about $4 to $5 a crate, but those type of chickens, the eggs, they cost probably about $20 US. So it's a matter of thinking outside the box, and you can make money in Africa if you really think outside the box. Because here's the thing, people complain a lot, and at the end of the day, without more action, our ideas as Africans has become more theoretical rather than practical. At the end of the day, we are human beings, we grow old. For years, people have been complaining and nothing is happening. You know, you just complain and you're growing old, you're gonna die without even living your life. So at the end of the day, you just have to stop complaining and try to find the best ways for you to survive. If you try this, if it doesn't work, try another thing rather than wasting your energy and complaining. You just have to think outside the box. And those who are thinking outside the box, they are finding those little ways to make it, and they are making it. You know, you can't start something today and be successful tomorrow. You have to be patient. Even in your country, even if things change for better, it doesn't mean that life is going to change for you. So if you waste your life complaining, well, if things do get better in your country, what are you going to do? Because all these years you've been doing nothing but you've been complaining. All I'm saying, as a content creator, what I've discovered in Zimbabwe is that farming pays like that much. And those who are doing it, they are one with it. They are in love with it like that much. And another thing that I've noticed, people are bringing back culture. Yes, when I say people are bringing back culture, I'm talking about people who are building those little resorts, those little places in the rural areas. I'll probably say the right term is agrotourism, where they do different activities there, people visiting those places. It's really amazing. I mean, imagine transforming your own rural place, making it a tourism attraction and people coming to your place just to know how to cook in a hurry, to cook the traditional food. The generation that is growing up right now is sort of like abandoning our own culture, our own tradition, adapting something that is new and probably something that is going to destroy us in the future. I mean, if you are to look at the cultures that we are adapting right now, the cultures that we are adapting from those countries, if you are to look at those countries, you would see that they are miserable. And 10 years from now, we're talking about something that is different in that country. It's horrible. So as Africans, I think we have to embrace our own culture because it is best for us. It was created for us. It was created for us, just for us. Why is it that Africans are the ones who have to learn a lot from other Western countries? Why are we doing it too much? We are doing it too much. When I say we're doing it too much, everything we are learning from the Western countries. We are not starting something new in our own continent. Something that we can embrace and say, this is something that started here. We are becoming dull. That's the word that I would say. So it is what it is.